It's all going to zero against Bitcoin.
It's going up forever, Laura.
You're against Bitcoin, you're against freedom.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live, your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, covered breaking news, culture, matic warfare. We'll be your guide through the separation of money and state. And really interesting, the U.S. government, specifically, it was like a press conference for the DOJ, saying the quiet part out loud, literally admitting that the Opti's texting me in the background, like always in the very beginning of the show. The DOJ literally admitted that the price of Bitcoin is going up forever, Laura. And it's funny, like the way they say it, because it was like basically, I think it was like an own. It's like, and I think they were talking about, pretty sure they were talking about the Silk Road, and they're like, when we seized this Bitcoin, the price was at this point, and now the price is at this point. Like, it's a testament to the failure of the dollar as a currency. It's a testament to number go up technology. I don't think they really thought it through, because they're either just blindly aware, they're just blindly like unaware of what's happening. But it's a promotion for Bitcoin, like once again. And if you connect this with what's going on in terms of this week, there's a very big week. Everyone is expecting, Bloomberg analysts are putting 95% approval on this Bitcoin ETF that will make it officially part of the financial system, the price of Bitcoin, right? So, and there's all this pushback either from the current administration, some senators, Elizabeth Warren's on a warpath. She's sending out letters. She's saying, hey, we can't accept this. Also, in other news, we're going to talk about during the news segment, there was another attack, like a propaganda attack. A news article came out by the New Scientist. The title was, "Should Nations Try to Ban Bitcoin because of its environmental impact?" The author and the article absolutely massacred on Twitter, to the point that the author literally deleted his Twitter account. The FUD isn't working anymore. The propaganda attacks are not working. We own the New York Times. We're owning every publication. It's like the Bitcoin immune system just attacks all these lies and misrepresentations to the point that they get exposed. And because they don't have because they don't own the medium, because this is narrative trench warfare on social media, it allows people to slap back, right? It allows people to at least point out a counter narrative. And if that counter narrative happens to be true, social media does its thing, and more people engage with it, more people like it, and then the ratio happens, right? So it's just interesting how all of this is happening, and it goes to something that we've been talking on with the show for many, many months, if not years, right? Which is the internet really started the great disintermediation. First, it was information. Governments, powerful institutions, legacy media corporations, they can no longer control the narrative if millions upon millions of people are allowed to talk amongst each other, right? Whether that's tweeting, whether that's making videos like what we're doing right now. It's very difficult to control the narrative. And then on the other side, which is the disintermediation of money, there's a bit of an overlap, and I think it's responsible for all this chaos that we're like living through. Some people call it the fourth turning. And governments are freaking out to that too. Institutions are freaking out. You saw Jamie Dimon testify in front of Congress, basically crying and saying like, yeah, all governments should ban Bitcoin, right? So yeah, this is some crazy times. So buckle up, take self-custody of your Bitcoin, and it's going to be a bumpy ride, but it's gonna be a good ride. It's gonna be a hell of a ride. Anyways, I do want to bring up my legendary co-host. He is always optimistic. I caught him with a smile on his face today, but he is underdressed. So Opti will not be joining us on the show today, and I'm gonna be doing the show only with Torture. Torture we did the news desk at Unconfiscatable. He was one of the guests. And this guy is a tinkerer, man. He creates these awesome. I brought one home, by the way. If I knew you were coming on the show, I would have it in my bedroom. He builds like all these like really cool like Bitcoin devices. The one that I have is like this little, it's like a 3D printed thing, and it has the price of Bitcoin inside, like a little price thing, and it connects to your phone via Bluetooth, and it's really cool. And he wore this like suit to unconfiscatable with like the block height, the Bitcoin price, and it was all digital and like all that stuff. So this guy's the man, really cool, awesome, through and through Bitcoiner, and we're super happy for him to be on the show today. How you doing, man?
Great. Yeah, no, it was great meeting you at Unconfiscatable. That was actually my first Bitcoin conference, and it was an absolute blast. I just think if there's people in the audience that haven't been to a Bitcoin conference like that, the smaller ones, man, there's so much culture there to connect to. So check those out. It was amazing.
100%. I really agree with that. Also, Opti seems to have dropped a poll in the chat. What will be the price? What will be the price of Bitcoin at Simply Bitcoin's 1000th episode? People are feeling. Okay. 23% say 100K plus. 59% over all-time high, and 18% under all-time high. So the crowd is feeling bullish. There's already 62 votes. So put in your vote if you guys are watching us on YouTube. But if you guys are watching us on Twitter, shout out to the Twitter audience, shout out to the Rumble audience, and of course, shout out to our podcast audience, which continues to grow. Shout out to all you guys. And breaking news, it was discovered this morning that Optimus Field has also dated Janet Yellen. So Opti, do you have any comments on that?
I like to keep my love life and personal life as secret as possible, but thanks for breaking the news.
Yeah, dude. So like, let's talk about this for a second. So it's not only central bankers, the head of the IMF. Now you it's been discovered that you have also dated Treasury secretaries.
Yeah, I mean, guys, my playbook is very simple. We know the Cantillon effect, or is it Cantillon effect? I still don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but I'm just trying to get close to the money printer. I'm outside of the secret club. I'm outside of the cool kids club that is the Federal Reserve and the politicians. And, I'm just trying to get some lobbying favor over here. I need to stack more sats. It's still cheap. And hey, if Janet can get me closer to the money printer, it's all for the culture, guys.
It's for the culture. And, I think that there's a term like gold digger. I think Opti invented a term, cantillionaire digger.
Cantillon digger.
Cantillon
digger. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
So anyways, guys, it's going to be a hell of a show.
You got to do what you can do to stack more sats.
Yeah, Opti's doing it for the culture. This is for the Bitcoin culture 100%. Hopefully he gets interviews one day, gets the inside sauce of what's going on.
I'll be getting the sauce for sure.
This is a family-friendly show, Opti. I don't know what sauce he's talking about. I do like the Benihana sauce, the white sauce. It's really good. I think they changed the ingredients though. Anyways, guys, buckle up. We're gonna start the show. Let's hit the numbers. Here we go.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Is your seed phrase really secure? Stamp Seed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you need to hammer your seed words into commercial-grade titanium plates instead of just writing them on paper. Don't store your generational wealth on paper. Paper is prone to water damage, fire damage. You want to put your generational wealth on one of the strongest metals on planet Earth, titanium. Your words are actually stamped into this metal plate with this hammer and these letter stamps. And once your words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamped seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They're also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and time-proof. All things that paper is not, allowing you to hodl your Bitcoin with peace of mind for the long haul. Stamp your seed on Stamp Seed. All right, guys. You guys know I make it easy for you guys. You could scan the QR code right now, take you directly to the Stamp Seed website, where you can use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off anything on the website. You want to put your generational wealth, you want to store it on one of the strongest metals on planet Earth, titanium. You do not want to store it on paper. Anyways, at the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is $46,800. Sats per dollar, 2,137. Market cap, $917 billion. Decline from all-time high, 32%. Days from all-time high, 789. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 6.76%. Supply percentage in corporate treasuries, 10.02%. Total Lightning Network capacity, 5,011 Bitcoin. Block height, 825,029. In the grand scheme of things, I still think we're very, very early. Once Bitcoin hits $500,000, you're going to be like, wow, remember when the price of Bitcoin was at 46,000. I think it will happen a lot sooner than we think. Anyways, in other news, this is what I want to talk about today. This is like, I mean, this person, Sumit's bot, I think absolutely hit the nail on the head. DOJ bragging about Bitcoin's number go up technology. And again, I don't think that they're totally aware of what it is they're doing, because essentially they're bashing on the dollar. Like, they're making fun of the dollar. Like, that's what they're doing, right? Like, because Bitcoin is money, right? And Bitcoin's better money. And what they're basically saying is that, like, yes, in dollar terms, this thing has gone up, but that begs the question, like, why has it gone up the way it has? Well, it's because it's, what is it, Opti? It's infinity divided by 21 million, right? I always switch the two. Or 21 million divided, no, but it's infinity divided by 21 million, right? There's an infinite amount of dollars. They continue to print more. Satoshi pointed this out. It's literally in the Genesis block. Chancellor on the second brink of the second bailout for banks. Like, it's all over Bitcoin, right? In the mythology and the ethos. So this is the biggest cell phone. And ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to cover this today, right? By the day, more and more people.
Oh, wow. All right, guys. Apparently Nico dropped off. Oh, man. I guess he'll be back. I don't know what's going on. Interesting, guys. Live, just absolutely wrecked. He should be back on in 1 second. Wow. I honestly didn't even see this clip. So there he is.
Literally getting kicked out of Restream when I'm about to bash on inflation. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. Who knows? But anyways, do want to play the clip, and then I'm going to connect the dots with what other people are saying. Like, specifically, it was like Javier Milei that Javier Milei. I always mess that up. That is pointing out, and remember, this guy just got elected president. So let me show you this, because we always talk about the concept of the Overton window, right? So I'm going to translate the post. And first, it's Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk just acquired Twitter. They're attacking him. There's advertisers that are trying to, attack his revenue, his revenue model, and all that stuff. And of course, we all know the Hayek meme, right? They get the really famous actress. They put her instead of like the economist, because like it gets people's attention more. And then of course, Elon Musk is known to be a memer. He's known to be a troll. And it says, I do not think it is an exaggeration to say history is largely a history of inflation. Usually inflation's engineered by governments for the gain of governments. And that statement is really deep, right? If you go back to the Roman times, like literally you could make a very strong case that when I don't know if you call it a government or the Roman state, started debasing the currency, things went downhill from there. Right. So this is like a story as old as time. Like governments, states, kings, if they've had the power to do so, they debase the currency. Right. And the reason I'm pointing this out, you guys all know this as Bitcoiners, is that this is not just anybody. Right. This is Elon Musk now breaking that Bitcoin echo chamber and getting that message out into the mainstream consciousness, basically telling them, hey, guys, inflation is the problem. Now, it's not only Elon Musk, by the way. Now it's the president of a country retweeting Elon Musk and saying, Elon Musk always on the side, says the sides of heaven. Maybe a percentage of you guys don't believe in God and whatnot. So I'm gonna be respectful of all sides and whatnot. But as you can see, Javier Milei agrees with Elon Musk. He's quote tweeting and he's quote tweeting what Elon Musk has to say. Right. So this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is moving the Overton window. This is shifting the Overton window. And more by the day, the amount of people that are waking up to the fact that the money is a scam, the money is broken, is more and more. And what happens when they wake up to that fact, right? Because you could wake up to the fact, wow, inflation sucks, whatever. We tried gold got co-opted. Gold isn't divisible. You can't transport gold over long distances. All roads lead to Bitcoin, right? That's the reality. So anyways, I do want to play this clip from the DOJ. Massive self-own, in my opinion. Let's check it out.
Almost 120,000 Bitcoin, which at the time was worth approximately $71 million. Today, the value of that Bitcoin has grown to over $4.5 billion. Almost one.
Like a total serious face, like trying to make a point, the value of the Bitcoin. It's like, yeah, okay, fine. Maybe the value, quote unquote, the value of Bitcoin has gone up, in dollar terms. And this is exactly why you should price your life in Bitcoin, because if you price your life in Bitcoin, everything gets cheaper, right? This is the awesome website, Priced in Bitcoin 21. And it compares it to everything. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, everything gets cheaper except for Marathon. Marathon, but Marathon is a leveraged Bitcoin play. But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Marathon, the stock, by the way, which is a big public Bitcoin mining stock. But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, life gets cheaper if you're living on a Bitcoin standard. Now, let's talk about the 5 things that I think affects people the most, which is obviously the currency. So if you've been saving on a 5-year scale in Bitcoin, dollars have actually gotten 91% cheaper. Oil has gotten 87% cheaper. Gold has gotten 85% cheaper. That's for you, Peter Schiff. S&P 500 has gotten 84% cheaper. And here, even with the prices of real estate in the United States of America doubling and tripling, housing has actually gotten 80% cheaper, right? So if you're living on a Bitcoin standard, life gets cheaper. So there's 2 phenomenons happening that I want to break down once again. You have, once again, the shifting of the Overton window, people waking up, mainstream people, presidents, the richest man in the world, literally saying inflation is a scam. And of course, the giant self-owned by the DOJ, they're not even aware of this. But it's basically pointing out that the dollar sucks, that the dollar has gone down in comparison to Bitcoin. Imagine 10 years from now, people are going to start asking the question, why am I earning in dollars? Why am I accepting dollars? This shit sucks compared to the sound money, right? And the only sound money that exists right now is Bitcoin. So anyways, I do want to get Torture's thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on the shifting of the Overton window? What are your thoughts on the Hayek meme, which was absolutely hilarious? Where's your head at?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's just a matter of time until everybody's on a Bitcoin standard, right? I mean, that's what the numbers suggest. That's what, history, you can't know with 100% certainty, but I would put my full faith in Bitcoin over anything else right now. So I guess that's my take. In terms of the Economist quote, I mean, that's it's funny, right? Just distractions, man. So
100%. So Opti, what's your take on all this, brother?
Well, first and foremost,
also it seemed like one of Opti's ex-girlfriends that
hey, I could only hope, from Janet Yellen to Selma Hayek. That's a
no,
good.
I'm not talking about her. I was talking about.
Anyways, Selma Hayek, the best Austrian economics of our generation. Shouts out to her. She really gets the problem, and I just love that she's out there spreading the signal. Love to see it. But now, on a serious note, it's as much as people give Elon Musk flack, I love seeing him get apart or be a part of the meme war out there and dropping solid memes. I know we do it constantly. All of us out there do it every single day on Twitter and just put our hat in the ring of the memetic warfare. And the more people wake up to the real problems in the world, the quicker we can fix this stuff. Anyways, in that clip, I don't know about you, Nico, but all I heard was that the DOJ hodled Bitcoin and they're absolutely in profit. Like, what are they even talking about? I can't even tell. Was that supposed to be like a bad thing? They're like, yeah, we bought we basically confiscated this Bitcoin. It was X amount of dollars and now it's increased in value exponentially. It's like, I don't know. I don't know about you, but when I hear that, I'm like, man, I should probably get some Bitcoin. Maybe it's going up forever, Laura. Maybe there's something going on here that I cannot explain. And anyways, Nico, I was really hoping you'd show this clip, this picture here. I think we can't emphasize enough this visual here. And it is the purchasing power, or as you see here, the rise and fall of the dollar since the Federal Reserve was created in 1913. Anyways, guys, if you've never seen this, TLDR, the value of the dollar has been absolutely decimated, and this ended in 2019. It's only gotten worse since then. Again, we say it all the time, you cannot save in dollars. This is why we're Bitcoiners in the first place. This is why we always say that you fix the money, you fix the world, because everyone is on the dollar standard. And how are we supposed to improve society when the unit of account and the medium of exchange and the thing we're supposed to store our value in is constantly debased? It's constantly degrading. As Eric Cason always says, dollars or fiat money, paper money is number go down technology. It literally in every case, not just storing value, but on the degradation of society, it literally makes everything worse. And as someone that's been on the Bitcoin standard for a few years, as someone that's on the Bitcoin standard and seeing, and I guess for lack of a better term, speculating on where the world is going to go on a Bitcoin standard, that's why the name is Optimist Field in the first place, because it makes you more hopeful, makes you more optimistic. You can view the future and be like, yeah, life will get better on a Bitcoin standard, because no longer will we be having a leaky, no longer do we have to leak our value out by holding dollars and then constantly try to figure out ways to make it seem like you aren't losing value. I forget what the meme is, but I think Saylor said it one time, Bitcoin is the pristine way to store your value. It's like, dollars are like having a glass of water with a hole in it that slowly leaks out the water, and you're supposed to hold that and store that through time and space. Bitcoin is a glass that doesn't have holes in it. Like, it's so simple, guys. It really don't complicate things. And as we're seeing right now, on the eve of potentially a spot Bitcoin ETF getting approved, we're going to see Wall Street and all of their ilk come into Bitcoin, and you're already seeing that they really don't understand what is going on. And it's just so beautiful to see. You're going to see more politicians come out against Bitcoin. You're going to see more talking heads embrace Bitcoin. And I really do think that by the end of this year, I know I did the poll right here where we were kind of trolling what the price would be. I really do think that this year we're going to see a very solid, slow grind upwards. Maybe we'll see, like a Omega candle, as everyone's saying on Twitter. But I think we are starting to enter a new era. And we're going to see more of these DOJ presses come out. And they're probably going to roll out the same low-hanging fruit examples that we constantly see rolled out. So just buckle up, guys. Shouts out to the DOJ, though. They hodled a lot of Bitcoin in there in profit. Let's go.
100%. 100%, dude. So yeah, guys, it's really crazy. We just discovered another one of Opti's ex-girlfriends. Opti's dating government. No, Opti. It wasn't that one. Opti's dating government bureaucrats. Central bankers everywhere. But remember, guys, he's doing this for the culture. I do want to give a shout out to Simply Bitcoin Originals sponsor, The Bitcoin Way. Take charge of your financial future. Guys, The Bitcoin Way has your back in every which way. If you want to set up a Bitcoin wallet, they got your back. If you want to set up a Bitcoin node, you don't know how to do that, they got your back. If you're an individual or business and you want to integrate with Bitcoin, they got your back. What about inheritance planning? They got your back. Concierge service, they have your back. the boys, the guys over at The Bitcoin Way are your Bitcoin IT team. You can book a call with them. They're privacy focused. They offer collaborative custody. Anything that you can think of, these guys have your back. So check out The Bitcoin Way. Take charge of your financial future. Go to thebitcoinway.com. And you can go from there. Also, guys, if you're enjoying the show right now, make sure to smash that like button on Twitter, on YouTube, on Rumble. And is there like buttons on the podcast? Leave a comment in the podcast. I think Spotify has that feature.
Subscribe,
anyways,
maybe.
Really helps. Yeah, subscribe, follow the podcast. Really helps with the YouTube algos, the podcast algos, all those algos. Really helps push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution forward. All right, everybody, let's hit the news. We have a lot to talk about today. Let's check it out.
The Daily News.
I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Foundation Devices. It's self-custody done right. They built a premium grade hardware wallet called Passport right here in the US. It's fully open source and verifiable. It's the most intuitive Bitcoin wallet designed with a UX reminiscent of a simple feature phone. So you will know how to navigate it and use it the moment you pick it up. Get your Bitcoin off exchanges and into your own hands in just a few minutes. Experience the peace of mind that comes with taking ownership of your own keys. After a massive sellout during Bitcoin Miami 2023, the Passport is back in stock at foundationdevices.com. Bitcoin only, open source verifiable, completely air gap security model, gorgeous design craft, premium grade materials. If you're thinking about getting your Bitcoin off exchanges, this is the one for you. Check out the Passport link in the show notes below to learn more. All right, everybody, I made it easy for you guys. Scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you directly to the Foundation Devices website where you can get yourself a Passport hardware wallet. It's completely open source. Remember, guys, not your keys, not your cheese, not your Bitcoin. So you do want to take self-custody of your wallet. It's air gap. There's a camera in the back to scan the QR code. There's a little slot on the top where you could literally put an SD card, right? So literally, you definitely want to get yourself a Passport hardware wallet. Highly recommend it. So check out our boys over at Foundation Devices. Scan the QR code on your screen right now. Anyways, I want to cover this today because I think it's a testament of how much the FUD does not work, how much the legacy media attacks don't work in the age of social media. You know, I really believe that this is like a second renaissance that we're heading into. Never has the common man had access to so much information at their fingertips. Never has the common man had the ability to build their own platform, their own following without credentialism, without going through the gatekeepers. They can circumvent the gatekeepers. If people like what they're saying, they could build a following. And I think it's short-circuiting the system a little bit. You saw Tucker getting fired from legacy media, even though he was the most famous broadcaster. You've seen Russell Brand try to get censored in the United Kingdom. You've seen Canada literally like, if you go visit Instagram in Canada, they will literally like black out certain media sources that literally says we can't show you this under the orders of the Canadian government. Like this is crazy, but it's because of what I'm talking about. Like the world is shifting. The internet has empowered individuals. So their ability to attack, their ability to control the narrative is greatly diminished. They can't do it the way they used to do it. So here's the New Scientist publication. It says Bitcoin currently consumes 0.7% of all electricity generated worldwide. Developers seem unwilling to change how it works, but enforcing changes is far from easy. Like, what does that mean? Like, dude, you can fork it. Like, you can fork it and you could, you know, make your own environmental, quote unquote, your definition of an environmentally friendly Bitcoin. And of course, you know, they get the Bitcoin art, of which us Bitcoiners think is absolutely awesome and badass. And at the bottom, it said, should nations try to ban Bitcoin because of its environmental impact? And of course, absolutely effing ratioed. The comment section is just like, you know, please stop publishing disinformation about Bitcoin. At best, you look foolish. At worst, you look nefarious. Pierre Richard, very helpful context in the community note here. Goes on to say, this is bad science, not new science, not how genuine inquiry works. And that's another thing, by the way. When people started ratioing this person and they started tagging him, he deleted his Twitter. So he's not even willing to, like, you know, argue his perspective in the public square. Like, you know, like, what the F, dude? Like, what do you mean? Why'd you delete your Twitter, bro? I thought you believed in what you stood for. Like, isn't the whole point, like, you're going to put out this information, you expect people not to, like, slap back, not to, like, you know, I mean, YouTube, not calling for violence. I mean, you to expect people not to counter your arguments, right? So, like, you know, what's going on there, dude? Like, what's going on? I don't understand what's going on. Anyways, Crypto Mags, incredible work she's done for Bitcoin. She used to be part of CoinKite. We've had her on the show before. She's extremely brilliant. And she literally came up with the thread that says the Bitcoin mining water critics are not doing the math right when it comes to water use for 3 reasons. It goes on to say, in effect, the critics assume the following: identify the electric grid mix for each mining jurisdiction, apply the water impact of each energy source, apply proportionally to how much electricity Bitcoin consumes, estimate a per TX water use. Let's examine why their assumptions are problematic. Direct versus indirect water use. The biggest issue is they assume direct water use by miners when it's indirect. This is an important distinction, so let's explore an analogs. When we look at carbon, we estimate direct scoop 1 and indirect scoop 2 and emissions. Steel, cement, pulpit mills report direct carbon emissions under cap and trade. The electricity generator does too, so there's no double counting, but mining critics attribute power emissions to miners. It goes on to say it's the same with direct or indirect water use. Think farms, pulp mines, textile mills using water directly versus power plants to make electricity they use. A miner with direct water would employ evaporate cooling, hydro cooling. Direct is what the critics should estimate. The water used from a power plant powering miners is not the same as the water used directly at a mining facility. In the same way that the water used by Nestle bottle plant is not the same indirect water impact from Nestle's electric consumption. Not apple to apple. So, I mean, I think that explains it. And I think that they've had a history of not comparing, of like throwing out these crazy comparisons because it makes it look really bad. Another really famous one is like Bitcoin uses more electricity than the country of Denmark. Like, we've all heard that one a million times. And you think about that, you're like, wow, that is crazy. That's absolutely nuts. I remember I brought on Foss for IRL and I told that to him and he was like, shut down Denmark then. That was so funny. We already had the hashtag from long ago, unplug Denmark. No, don't do that. It's a joke. But no, so and again, what Mags was saying is true. That's not a fair comparison because Bitcoin uses stranded energy. Bitcoin uses isolated energy. Bitcoin uses energy that was already going to waste. If it wasn't already going to waste, if it wasn't stranded, therefore, it wouldn't be profitable to mine using that energy, basic supply and demand. But they don't talk about that. It's not discussed. It's not put into the equation. And the reason it's not put into the equation, just like that article, just like what Mags was talking about in terms of the water use, right, is because it doesn't fit the narrative. And at the end of the day, what this is, it's a narrative. It's an anti-Bitcoin narrative. It's a propaganda attack. It's meant to hurt Bitcoin's reputation. Nothing more, nothing less. That is literally the purpose of these articles. That's what they're meant to do. And what they're trying to kind of struggle with and trying to angle is that they're hoping that government regulation comes in and forces Bitcoin to quote unquote change the code, right? They can fork it all they want. They can get consensus. They can get people to follow them and follow those rules, but that's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying. No. They want the government to step in and to force everyone to run a different software. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not running that code on my node. This is why it's so important to run your own node. If you're not running your own node, you don't get that vote, right? So anyways, that's my stance on this. Another attack failed. Opti, they're not working as much anymore. Every single one, they try one of these out, it's like diminishing returns. Like it's less effective, and they get beat up harder and harder and harder every time they try. It's really, really glorious to see. I think the New York Times is scared of Twitter at this point. I don't think they're even willing to put something Bitcoin related on Twitter, because they're just going to get eaten alive every single time. So what's your take on this, brother?
Yeah, well, I've been saying for a while that and you guys corrected me in the right phrasing of this, that the control of the flow of information is crumbling. We remember the article by Nayib Bukele.
Don't drink the elite Kool-Aid. Yeah,
we've laid this out all of last year, and we know exactly what the game is. And so shouts out to all of you guys in the trenches that are fact checking the corporate press and these quote unquote journalists on Twitter, because as you can see, the community notes is really like the bane of their existence right now. And it's absolutely hilarious that they can't take the heat of Twitter trolls. Like I have a little story of my friend, and he was basically like trolling his dad the same way that we troll each other on Twitter, and it was just completely going over his head. He didn't even understand what was going on. And I think this is what's going on in the corporate press world. Like, they are not prepared to take the heat of Twitter trolls. Like, they don't understand how the internet works, because they're so used to basically pontificating from their ivory towers that when they have normal people just going so hard on them because they are essentially lying, as far as I'm concerned, they delete their Twitter accounts. Like this is like basic interneting right now, and they can't even take the heat on Twitter. And the only thing they can think of is like, oh, let me just delete my Twitter account and retreat. And it's like, no, like, if you are saying the truth, stand in the heat of the storm and battle your ideas. Twitter is the battleground of ideas. And it's hilarious how they can't back up their ideas. But as we're saying, and we've been covering this for a while, it does seem like the Bitcoin FUD is no longer working, because I remember it used to be, we're going to boil all the oceans. Oh, Bitcoin miners are going to boil the oceans. And now it's shifted to, oh, we're polluting too much water. You can just see in real time that they're trying to figure out something that the average person can connect to emotionally and just try to create outrage. And as Bitcoiners constantly show, as Bitcoin miners constantly show, Bitcoin mining is not the problem here. As everyone's saying in the chat, like, what about the water pollution from fiat money, from gold extraction? Like, we never talk about this stuff. It's really, as you know, going back to Hayek in the numbers, the unseen, or actually maybe that's Bastiat, the unseen consequences of the economy and the world we live in. As long as you're able to skirt this under the rug, no one talks about it. But when you put Bitcoin in the limelight, it sounds so bad. But when you compare it to what the status quo is, it's like, oh yeah, Bitcoin is not the problem here. Like, it's fiat. It's, you know, everything else in the world. Like, Bitcoin is tiny. I forget what the numbers are, but what are we, Nika? Like 0.1% of global transaction, maybe 1% of the global economy. Like, Bitcoin is so tiny. And this just goes to show how afraid they are of Bitcoin, is when they roll out Bitcoin as like this thing that's going to destroy the world. Obviously, it's all narrative trench warfare. It's all about framing, and it's really about just getting a sound clip in people's minds.
Dude, it's the Nayib Bukele article. It's like, don't, like, you know, they control the truth. Their most important weapon is they're controlling the truth and the narrative, and that's what it's about. And then the internet's just like breaking that, and then like you see them short circuit, because it's what you said, Opti. Like, that was such a great line. It's like they're so used to being in this ivory tower where they can just scream out with a megaphone, like, oh, there's nothing back, and then all of a sudden people figured out they can throw tomatoes up there, and they're like, no, like, what do you mean you're throwing tomatoes at me, you know? So anyways, torture. I keep saying torture, but you're not a torturer. You're a torture. I said it right? Torture. Yeah. Okay, torture. What are your thoughts on this, brother?
I think that Bitcoin is the best thing that's ever happened to energy. You know, there's so much. What Bitcoin is going to do is it's going to drive cheap electricity, so much so competitively that if perpetual motion actually would be possible and we could break physics, Bitcoin will get credit for that because it's driving that much competitiveness to energy. And so the world is going to get access to that energy at a far, far cheaper rate, which is better for everyone. So how can we debate that?
100%. It's better for everyone. I completely agree, because all of a sudden you have you, like, for example, the quote unquote renewables, which, you know, it's so about like the renewable, that isn't like really viable without subsidy. All of a sudden Bitcoin makes that viable, right? They don't talk about that, right? Not to mention the energy innovation that's going to be coming. Not to mention the fact that for the first time in human history, if you have, if you have the stranded energy in the middle of nowhere, because people don't understand this, and I think it was like Michael Saylor that first explained this, and it was like such a great explanation. You can't transport electricity over large distances without losing a percentage of it. You can't store it effectively, so you have to use it really right then and there, right? Bitcoin kind of offers as this like buyer of last resort. And what that does is it allows grid operators to really plan for the future, because they know that there will always be these hungry Bitcoin miners that are like, you know what, if you don't want it, we'll take it. So yeah, innovation, grid stabilization, the quote unquote sustainable energy without the necessity of government subsidy. There's so many things that Bitcoin offers to, the energy industry, that I think we're just at the very tip of the iceberg of, what Bitcoin can offer and how Bitcoin's going to change the world. So it's extremely, extremely exciting. Not only is Bitcoin better money, Bitcoin could actually help humanity in the energy sense as well. And it's absolutely beautiful. Anyways,
Larry Fink said so also, Nico. We're good to go.
If Larry Fink says it, it's accepted. By the way, speaking of Larry Fink, guys, did you see, before I get to the ad, did you see that the BlackRock is firing their ESG?
Yeah, they've been rolling it down for a minute.
They're like firing their ESG division, and like
they're embracing Bitcoin.
They're on the verge of a Bitcoin ETF. It's like, yeah, like what's the saying? It's like BlackRock isn't gonna fix Bitcoin. It's gonna be Bitcoin that fixes BlackRock. So anyways, it's glorious to see. Guys, Simply Bitcoin is powered not only by you guys, but it is also powered by our sponsors. They keep the lights on, they pay the bills, and one of these awesome sponsors is Kabimrex. They are the most trusted place to buy, sell, host mining equipment. If you scan the QR code on your screen, it will take you directly to the Kabimrex marketplace. You can connect with a member of their sales team. They make purchasing miners easy and transparent. You could also sell your mining equipment with them. Access their vast network of domestic and international customers when you sell your mining equipment with Kabimrex. So what are you waiting for? Check out their racks today. I highly recommend it. That's where I buy my Bitcoin miners. All right, everybody, let's hit the culture. We have a lot to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
All right, let's go. All right, so Torture, before we get into everything you're creating, I usually ask people their rabbit hole story, but I'm not going to do that. I want to ask you your rabbit hole story on how you became a Bitcoin tinker.
Well, I guess I have to give credit to Seed Signer, because, here's a guy on Twitter that creates his own signing device, and you could tell that it was built, in like with common parts, and it just kind of convinced me that, if some other, random guy can do stuff, like I can too, right? It obviously helped that I had a background in programming, but I had never really done, board level stuff. But I guess that was kind of where the motivation came from, was seeing him come out with the Seed Signer.
Love it. Yeah, shouts out the Seed Signer project, one of the greats in the Bitcoin community that came out of the bear market. All right, let's get over here. All right, Torture. what am I looking at over here on Geyser? What are you working on? Maybe you can also demo some of the stuff you have there. I know you have some of your creations with you. So let's just start with the Geyser, and then you can show off some of the stuff you've been building.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, huge shout out to Geyser too, because when this is the first project that I came out with, the smallest, hobby Bitcoin ATM you can, and right now this is actually in like, I've sold like roughly 35 of them, but it's in about, I don't know, 18 different countries, which I thought was really, really cool because they're selling like almost in a decentralized way around the globe. And so I've had to support all these different currencies for these. And so people have shipped me, some of the coins from their local currency, and then I configure the ATMs for them. But this was my first project, and it wasn't really meant to sell even. I just wanted it for myself. I wanted to understand the tech behind making a Lightning ATM, and I set out to do it, and then I created the 3D model and got it done. And because I'm a perfectionist, by the time it was actually done, I went, this thing's actually really cool, and I like showing this off. And people that were interacting with it, it was like, this is actually kind of an orange pill tool. Like, I have family friends over, they're putting in quarters, dimes, nickels, and redeeming Lightning while I'm sitting there with them. I was like, the world might actually be interested in this, so I'll launch it. It's all open source as well. So you scroll down, there's a GitHub link, and you can go to that and you can build your own for free. You just have to get the parts and then use the models to 3D print the case. But that's kind of where I started. Is I just thought it was cool. And then, so that was my first product, and I'll be launching this one soon. So this
wait, hold on. Let's put it full screen.
So this is like going to be the version 2 model. This one will require a power adapter because the light is pretty ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
I promise it in person, it's way more awesome than on the camera. But that one will require the power adapter just because the LEDs actually do draw a decent amount of energy. So that's kind of where I started. Those aren't quite available yet. I'm still just finishing them. But these ones are, most people go with the multi ATM because it accepts multiple coins. The single coin ATMs, I honestly thought people would go nuts over the LED light, and a few people did buy it, but most people are about the functionality. So that's kind of where I started. And that's my Geyser story, is that I was planning to launch on Kickstarter. And then I was in a Bitcoin space on Twitter, and people said, well, what about Geyser? And I didn't know about Geyser. This is back in March. And so I checked out Geyser, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Okay. It's Kickstarter for Bitcoin. And so I actually created the campaigns on both, thinking, okay, I'll launch on both platforms. And I tried to launch on Kickstarter. Well, I got denied. Yeah.
No way, dude. Are you serious?
Which then shows the need for something like Geyser. So that's why I really wanted to hear that.
What were the reason?
Yeah,
what were the reasons?
It was denied because it's a financial instrument of volatile price action.
Amazing.
So, but
It's like, all right, bro, F you. I'll go to Geyser then. Like,
so that, huge shout out to Geyser. And that's how I really got in touch with Mick and, did some.
The dollar's a financial instrument with volatile. Like, what about fiat currencies, bro? Like, so what? So like a handful of fiat currencies don't apply to that. But like, that's such bull. Sorry, I get upset because
I know
it's such double standards. Like, obviously,
it is. And so, but then I got in touch with Mick and did a couple of interviews with him publicly on Twitter as well, just kind of highlighting that product. And then we got to talking, and now I'm actually working at Geyser full time. So it's
congrats, man.
It's, and being a part of the Bitcoin community and interacting with people at conferences, I've never felt more at home with a group of people. We're about truth, honesty, trust. And I've met such amazing people along the way. So so just huge shout out to everybody like in this community. It's awesome interacting with all of you. So I'll show off a couple more things, and I'll be quick because I know we probably
wait, actually, Torture, we got some time.
We got time, brother.
Yeah, before you move on, if you don't mind me asking, how exactly does the ATM work? You like, obviously there's a QR code, but like, do you have to send your money somewhere, right? Like, because if you put coins in there, like how does that work? I still don't get how that works. Maybe you don't have to expose everything, but
no, it's all open source, so I can expose it.
Okay.
So actually, this is a shout out to Ben Ark now with LN Bits, because he created the ability to do ATMs essentially offline. And so this is using
that's
LN
so cool, dude. Oh my god.
Well, it doesn't even require an internet connection. I mean, you can carry this thing in your backpack, flip it on, orange pill people on the go. And so it uses his LNbits wallet, which is custodial. So when I do sell these, I always recommend people, don't load this thing up with a ton of Bitcoin. Put $5-10 on it. It's an orange pilling tool. It's fun to have around. It's fun to play with. It's fun to show your friends and family. But this is not a wallet to be throwing a ton of Bitcoin on, right? it's to showcase functionality and inspire some more innovation. So so that's how it works. Is it you generate a key on LNbits for the ATM, you put it into the Arduino code that I've open sourced, upload it to the microcontroller, and from there it's ready to go. Then you just have to seed the LNbits wallet with some sats, and then it's ready to go.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, wait, like you ship the dollars to someone? Like, what's going on here? Okay, all right, that made perfect sense. Okay, cool. Torture. Now show us some of the other stuff you're working on. Do you have the suit with you right now?
It's hanging up over there, but
dude, hey, no, bro, you got to show it off, dude, because you got to show it off, bro.
I'll go grab it here in a second. It's right over there, and I got to plug it in, and it actually takes a little minute to boot. But so let me just share this real quick, and then I'll go grab it. So then from the ATM project, I asked myself, like, how can I make this smaller? I want this to be tiny. I want people to be able to take this on the go and orange pill without having to take a backpack with them and have the weight of 8 AA batteries and everything else. And so I created the keychain ATM, right? And so this is a very
fucking cool.
This is a very, very simple little device. And you literally just put a quarter. This one's configured for a quarter. You put it into the bottom. It shows a QR code. Then they scan that. You keep the quarter, and they get 25 cents worth of sats.
Wow.
So, and like I said, it just fits on your keychain. So I wanted to make it as small as I possibly could. And I did. I don't think I could make it any smaller. So I was probably about through 38 different versions of 3D models and trying different materials and stuff before I really got it to work at the level that I wanted it to work at. So,
dude, that's so fucking cool, man. And I got one of your, and you're wearing it around your neck. You got one of the Bluetooth price.
Yeah, show it off.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see, what is the price of Bitcoin? 46,685 right now.
Yeah.
And so this just connects to it actually connects to the Wi-Fi on your phone, so your hotspot, and then you just wear it. So it's just a portable price ticker that you can wear around, and then people see the display updating, and they approach you, and they're like, "What is that?"
And then they ask you to come on the news desk at Unconfiscatable because you have so much swag. But yeah, dude, this is so cool, man. You're going places. This is really
one more.
This is really impressive stuff.
Before you go grab the jacket, you don't have to plug it in. Just you can show it off. What was the miner little thing that you made?
The miner thermostat. So
yeah. Plug that.
Yeah. So this connects to S9 space heaters and things like that, where you want the heat. You don't want your spouse to be complaining because it's 90 degrees in your living room. This connects to brains and basically regulates your temperature. So if the temperature gets too high, which you can set at the top of the device, it will tell it to pause mining temporarily and then resume mining. So it's a very, very simple device. Recently, it was about 5 days ago, I finally added multiple miner support. So if you have multiple space heaters, it'll connect to multiple of them. And then it shows some data on the screen here, which I'm sure is probably kind of hard to see, but it shows whether mining is active, how many miners are connected, the miner IPs, the deadband range of the temperature fluctuations you want before it kicks on or off. Right now I'm consuming 1149 watts of power, and I'm 11.68 terahash. This is actually, even though I'm holding this right now inside my house, my S9 space heater is out in my office. And so this is actually controlling it from here. As long as it's on the same Wi-Fi network, it'll work. So
awesome. And are you selling those as well? Is there a geyser page for those?
Yeah, there's a geyser page for all of this stuff. I did them all individually, different. So like if you're looking for the ATM, just type in ATM and you'll see the keychain ATM and the other ATM. The thermostat, you'll see if you type in thermostat under the search. And then this is BitChain. So, and
very cool. Very cool. All right. So while me and Opti chat, could you grab the suit? and me and Opti will shoot the shit.
Here, I'm gonna drop his geyser page in the chat, guys. So definitely go check him out. Here's all his other cool stuff he's got on his geyser page. You can see, you can get, everyone's like, I want one of those lightning keychains. You guys can get them live. Absolutely dope. Great
Cool.
stuff.
Very
great
cool,
stuff.
dude.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right. Wait, plug the jacket. Grab the jacket real quick. Grab the jacket.
Grab
real
the
quick.
jacket. Here we go. How you doing, Opti? What's up, bro? How's your Tuesday?
Doing great.
How's your Tuesday?
Man.
Any new contillionaires you're focusing on?
Hold on. Let's full screen this real quick. I got a few.
Who?
Man.
Augustine.
I'm not going to tell you guys until it happens. You know,
Okay.
I don't like to put my business out there, or else you guys make fun of me if it doesn't work out.
How's the approach? Like, how do you normally like? Do you go up to them and you're like,
well,
I'm a big fan of your dollars?
No. So I've been recently watching House of Cards recently, and I learned that they need talking heads. So I basically tell, hey guys, you can buy me. Just I want some of your dollars. Okay, here we go.
All right.
I got my name tag on it.
Wow.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right. Model this for us. So what do you got on this jacket?
Well, so here's the price. This is where the price will display, and I think I plugged it in correctly. In about 30 seconds, we should start to see these screens light up. But then we got 4 screens here that show the block height, how many sats for $1, the number of mempool transactions pending, and then there was a 4th one. I'm not really sure. But then I guess at the bottom of the jacket, so while I was at the conference, I had my nerd miners running down at the bottom of the jacket. And then, the geyser products that I had, and all this stuff is wired into the suit. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I kind of felt like Bitcoin Iron Man when I went there, but it was fun. So,
dude, all right, awesome. We do have a few questions, and people want to play the video in the background, so I'm gonna play this video.
Take the volume off.
Yeah, it's off.
No, it's not. I see it on, Opti.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm gonna play the video here.
Oh.
Yep, we're up.
Woo!
Okay. I'm going to play the video in the background for you guys. Oh, yeah, there we go. But we do have a question here for people that want to know how this works. So Roman asks, you need a Lightning node running LND to support the ATM devices, right?
No. So you're using LN bits for the custodial. That being said, you can do it non-custodial. If you're running something like Umbrel or Start9, you can install LN bits and then generate your key from there. And so then it actually connects to your own personal node if you choose to do that, and it'll still work offline.
This is so cool.
Love it.
This is so cool. By the way, Torture, in real life, this suit is like it's dope right now. Multiply that by like 100.
Hey, Nico, they want to watch the video.
Dude, look at his suit, bro. Okay. All right, here we go.
Wait, let me rewind this a little bit. All right. Sending sats. Here you guys go. The process of the Lightning ATM. Dope.
Very, very cool.
Boom.
Wine's in the chat. How easy will it be to accept other currencies?
Like for the ATM. So I actually configure it for you. So if you buy through Geyser, you just tell me. Right now I support 14 different currencies. I think they're all listed on the campaign, but I've done Swiss francs, I've done GBP, Canada, US, yen. I've done the Japanese dollar or Japanese yen. I don't know. I have like 14 of them. Anyways, yeah, a whole bunch. So, and if for some reason I don't have that currency, then I'll actually just take a little bit off the price for you to ship me that local currency in coins, because that is almost impossible today to get coins from other countries. I found out you can't even go to an airport or a bank and even order them. They just won't allow it. Like,
that's
you can't.
Crazy. That's so nuts.
So I've had people actually sending me the currency, and then I just give them a discount so that I can support that currency for, future orders.
Very cool. Very cool. Wow, man. This is so cool. Yeah, Wine points out a really good. He's like, I always have loose change before leaving a country. That's so true. This would be perfect for that. You know, you put in your little, your local currency, and then you get sats in return on the way out. That's a really good point from Weinicus.
Wow, Weinicus saying something
God,
smart.
yeah, right. Knack. Weinicus and his knacks. All right, everybody. I do want to give a shout out to our guest, Torture. Definitely check out his awesome project, the Bitcoin ETF. This guy's a tinkerer. I was very lucky enough to get the Bitcoin, the thing that he's wearing around his neck. I have one. He's kind enough to give me. I think you gave it to my wife, actually. At the time, she was my fiance. You gave it to her, so she, like, we have it, like, it's in our bedroom, like under the TV. It's really cool. But thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
happy-
Torture. Where can people find you?
Yeah,
What do you mean? Oh, on Twitter?
On Twitter
on the
or
interwebs.
Yeah, the interwebs. Wherever you want them to find you.
Yeah, on Twitter. My tag is at T Hoagland, which I guess maybe we could throw in the chat or whatever. But yeah, or if you're in any Bitcoin space, you'll see me fairly often because I'm on spaces quite a lot.
Awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining us today. Really, honored, pleased, happy that you're on our side. Congratulations on, the gig at Geyser. It's a great team over there. Mick's doing an incredible job. You guys are building. I mean, you proved the use case, bro. They turn you down from the fiat version, and then Geyser's like, no, yeah, of course you can come over here, So that's what Bitcoin's all about. That's awesome. Like I said, glad you're on our side. Keep building, bro. You're literally building. Like, you're actually building shit, like physical shit, and it's really cool, man. So thank you so much for coming on the show, and soon people are going to be asking where they could buy that jacket.
Yeah, I've thought about auctioning it off, honestly, just to, who wants it, right? But no, thank you guys.
Sounds like a new Geyser page.
Sounds like a new Geyser page. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Wait. What's your Twitter handle again? People are asking.
T Hoagland. Here, I'll give it in the private chat for you.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
We will put it on screen for you in 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right. There. You guys could follow Torture right there. You can just check out his handle and check out his awesome stuff, what he's working on. Awesome fellow Bitcoiner. Guys, that was our show. If you enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash the like button. Consider subscribing if you feel like we provided you value. But the number one thing you could do to help push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution is buy our merch. I am being held
Apparently
accountable.
the intern is turning off the discount tonight, guys.
By Weinicus. Yeah, he's just help us help us stay on the air, help us stay independent. Really helps. Believe it or not, the Simply Bitcoin team is pretty big. It's like a group of like 10, 12 of us. So it really helps. If you guys want to support the show, support all this content that's dropping, really helps if you guys check out our merch and also check out our other sponsors. Okay. All right. Wine won't kill me now. Okay. So yeah, if you guys want to continue helping,
intern won't kill you.
Yeah. Janitor, intern. Yeah. An intern that runs everything. Okay. So guys, if you guys want to help the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, share Bitcoin culture, share Bitcoin content, share Bitcoin music. Great Andrew Breitbart said if that culture is downstream from politics, so we really have to just co-opt the culture, take it over. And I think that's happening before our eyes when you have Elon Musk tweeting about inflation, when you have the president of a country retweeting Elon Musk's meme. I think we're definitely making progress, but we could accelerate it, right? We could accelerate that. So do you want to decelerate it? Or do you want to accelerate it, right? Because there's nothing in between. So anyways, guys, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into Simply Bitcoin Live. And, we'll see you guys tomorrow for a brand new episode. Peace out, everybody. Have an awesome rest of your day. So apparently I said it wrong. It's no politics is downstream from culture. All right. Let's try that again. One more time. Here we go.